Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Friday evening. It's 9 o'clock. Time to gather in the music room and live stream. But first, as always, a little music. Enjoy.
We are all the heirs to Scotland, as a nation proudly stand. We will march beneath her banners to protect our ancient land. In the glens and cities, there on every street are the living heroes no army will defeat. Let a flag mean freedom and not a battle drum. To the world we bid a welcome in 1,000 different ways. We will toast to long lost friendships as we build our better days. In the glens and cities, there on every street are the living heroes no army will defeat. Let our flag mean freedom and not a battle drum. We are all the heroes of Scotland. We're a nation hand in hand. We will march beneath her banners to protect our ancient land. In the glens and cities, there on every street are the living heroes no army will defeat. Let our flag mean freedom and not a battle drum.
Good evening, folks. I hope you're all well. Comfy, cozy. The weather's definitely on turn, that's for sure. Aye, aye, aye. Good evening, Woodlander. I finally got round to answering the comments. Somebody in the comment said that, oh, pardon me, that it was a bit like being in a pub. And I thought to myself, that'd be really good if it was one of those pubs that Toffee was talking about that still exist in Liverpool, where people can still smoke cigarettes and whatnot. That'd be really nice for the smokers. But when you're at home, as I suppose most of you are, well, you've got that freedom anyway, haven't you? And if I sound a bit different, it's probably because I'm very congested. Oh, there's Streaky Bacon. Good evening, Streaky. So anyway, I was watching a channel that I regularly watch. Good evening, Steve. And they were talking about this company that exists, which is employed by games companies. And the whole purpose of this company, they claim, is to completely destroy the games industry. And they were showing how they have started, amongst all the other stuff that's happened to Star Wars, but what they have started with is the stormtroopers. They have decided that what they're going to do is that one of these stormtroopers is going to have the white body protection. It's going to be coloured so that you can identify that it's a transgender stormtrooper. So this is the latest. This stormtrooper, they've given it a name, I can't remember what this name is. Taking it back to the days of Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan, calling it canon. So what they're endeavouring to do is to take those first three movies and destroy them by the inclusion of this so-called character, and bring down the whole franchise of Star Wars. Toffee. Two of my dogs had a little handbags at dawn altercation earlier over a tiny slice of ham. It was pretty hilarious. Oh dear. You would think they were hard done by. I'm sure they're not. I'm sure you look after them well, but I suppose that's animals for you. I like that. Woodlanders right on it. Storm poofers. But I just why I'm bringing it up is because I know I'm not the only one, but when Star Wars first came along, my boy was a perfect age to become totally involved in all of that, which he did, of course. And through his involvement, I became involved, and so did his mum when she was alive. We took him to all sorts of different uh, exhibitions and what have you. Stood long lines waiting to have him photographed uh, next to Darth Vader, who, of course, was not the real Darth Vader, but those children of that age didn't know any better. And eventually we did get to meet him. David Prowse, before he dies, one of these uh, fan gatherings, and spoke to him for a few moments, and that was important to my boy at that time, as I'm sure it would be to all the fans. And when I consider that, one family's experience, of course, you got a load of the toys, etc., videos, and all of that. How important all that is to his childhood and millions of other boys and girls all over the place. And for some small group of individuals to come along and destroy it is so wicked. I was searching for a word to cover it. I thought the whole thing was absolutely disgusting. Inclusion is our strength, says Margaret. There's Sansom. Hi there, Sansom. I hope you're okay. You might notice that I am full of congestion. Yeah, I have to be a lot more careful. I was out. I was out at the beginning of the week. I had to go to the post office to post the booklets out, and of course, I didn't realise how cold it was, and then I had to go to the opticians, and that's quite a distance between these 2 points. So I think I've caught. I hope not, but I think I've caught a chill or a cold. So I'm feeling very congested. Oh, you've seen that one, Senso. Yeah, I'm just telling the folks that it's so destructive. If my own son is anything to go by, most of those fans of his age group uh, have already turned their back on the Star Wars franchise. What can you say? I know I have to be a lot more careful, Woodlander. I can't really afford to catch anything like that. Well, that helps to make the weekend, does it not, Sense when you're not working on a Friday? All right, Treble M, that's good to know you received your booklets. I hope you like them. I hope you think they're worth what we paid. Oh, that's disappointing. Sorry to hear that, Streaky. So Western, I just received the email from Sensum today. Uh, I don't know the film at all. Well, that's always been my intention, Woodlander. That the Friday night stream was to be relaxed. It was really to be a stream to talk about the arts, music, and books and movies and that sort of thing. Because primarily because of my age, of you know, most of my life I was getting a pay packet on a Friday at 4:30 or 5 o'clock, and then was let loose to go home. So for me, that's always been the sort of start of the weekend. So when I decided to try the Friday live stream, I thought it would be a good idea to continue with that uh, non-political, and then that's not always possible. I know that even when we're doing the the movie reviews, it's not always possible. But no, the Friday one shouldn't be concentrated on politics. It should be something to relax the mind, and if your temperature's up a bit for whatever reason, then to help relax. I've not even heard of it since him. Ed Harris is usually pretty good though. I'll have a look over the weekend if I'm feeling up to it. But yeah, I don't know it at all. He's always in fine form as ever streaky, isn't he? uh, Cleaning toilets in McDonald's. It's an awful job. Fair play to you for making a career of it. Probably better than cleaning up the shit that's been forced on me currently, says Sensor. Ah, David, son of Lan. You've been getting plenty of compliments in for the live stream we did the other night. If you want to go and read them, it might give you a little boost. People have really appreciated it. Although I have to say, Toffee would rather not uh, see your backside naked anymore. That kind of upset him a wee bit. So, if you've got any more videos, you make sure that images like that are not included in them. There you go. But people have thoroughly enjoyed the content, so that's all good news. I was telling my partner earlier that Fridays is relaxed chat evening about non-serious subjects. It's always been that. The At the beginning of the channel when I first started this, and I don't want to get into details because it's a long time ago now, but I had a lot of people lined up to come on a Friday, mainly authors, some musicians, and that was all good stuff. But it got sabotaged somewhat, and at that point I was seriously thinking of wrapping up the channel because of it. It was a big hoo-ha at the time. But another supporter advised me not to do that and to take a different route, which is what I did. And so here we are, still here. But I lost access to all those really interesting people. And it took a wee while to look around and get equally interesting folk to come in and speak. But I've always had this idea that it would be good if we could get more people from the chat to come on. You know? Because I've always found that people, no matter who they are, have got interesting stories and lives, which I always find fascinating. And so do other people if they get the opportunity to hear those stories. Well, there you go. There's another compliment there. What happened there? It's not come up. There it is. Well, that's right, Woodlander. We have all got stories. That's why I've always tried to encourage people from chat to come up and speak. But I do understand that, especially with my background of recording, that people have always got this. They all say the same thing. Oh, my voice sounds terrible. So awful when I hear it recorded. And what they're basing that on mainly is years ago when the equipment that was available to us was of low quality. So it recorded low quality and made everyone's voice sound really tinny. And of course, that makes people nervous to think that that's how they're going to be heard. But it's not true. Equipment these days is, you can't even compare it to what used to be around. What's this? Yeah, and again, I'll say to Woodlander and others, if you've got stories that can be used at Halloween, well, you can do two things with those stories. You can either get them on an email and send them to me, and I'll read them out, or you can come to the stream and read them out yourself. Either way, I don't mind. That's what happened before in the past. It's just unfortunate that, you know, being ill for so long, I didn't get to do it. It's 2 years I haven't done the Halloween stream. But that's what was happening before. People would send things in, including Sensum, of course. And either I or the author would read them out. So if anybody's got any stories or ideas for stories, please try and write them out and send them to me. Or you can read them aloud yourself. So there you go, David. Everyone has thoroughly enjoyed the material that you were putting forward. In fact, somebody left a really long comment about the Stone of Destiny, saying that it was never found or given up. That's not the original. Now, I thought that was the case. I know I should do that, Anglo. I'm getting reminded. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Get the channel up to 1,000 so the channel can make some money so I can put that money to good use. Okay? So if you haven't done that, would you please do it? It would be a help. Thanks for the reminder, Anglo. One of the things that James Hayworth used to try and knock into my thick skull, I never got the habit. I don't know why. Just never got the habit of saying that. See, there you go. There's a good example of what I'm talking about. Doffy can't get much worse than mine. Says he. I just use my phone to stream. I sound like enraged scouser trapped in a cupboard with my sound quality. This is what you get all the time. Toffee said that and the Woodlander saying the same thing. Anyway, it would be a help because normally in the past when I was doing the Halloween streams, they lasted longer than the 2 hours. I'm going to try to keep that tradition alive. But in order to do that, getting help from you, the chat, helps enormously. It means that it's not you're not all listening to my stuff. Well, that'll be interesting. I will talk about comments made, John, regarding the stone and in the modern context in our next Blether. So there you go, folks. It's good. It's good that he's thinking about the future and planning of what might be said. That's all good news for us and him. Well, I'll put on this video, see how much interest you have in it. It's the kind of thing that I have an interest in, simply because I'm part of this group. So it's all
people. Get ready to have your mind blown as we dive into the fascinating world of lefties. From their unique traits to surprising advantages, we'll uncover the secrets and quirks of being a southpaw. So if you're curious about why left-handed individuals are so special, buckle up and join us on this incredible journey. Prepare to be amazed by the intriguing facts that will leave you in awe of the left-handed population. If you're new here, don't miss out on all the amazing content we have to offer. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can stay up to date on all of our latest videos. We guarantee it will be worth your while. So let's begin. Number 1. Approximately 12% of the world is left-handed. Did you know that left-handed individuals make up approximately 12% of the global population? That's right. While the majority of people are right-handed, there is a significant proportion of the population who favor their left hand. This statistic highlights the uniqueness and diversity of individuals worldwide, showcasing the prevalence of left-handedness across different cultures and societies. So, next time you meet a lefty, remember that they are part of a special and distinctive group within our global community. Number 2. Creativity and artistic abilities. Fascinating studies have revealed that left-handed individuals often possess a higher aptitude for creativity and artistic abilities. Researchers have found that the unique wiring of the left-handed brain may contribute to enhanced creative thinking, allowing lefties to excel in fields such as painting, music, and writing. This intriguing connection between left-handedness and creativity showcases the power of lateral thinking and the diverse talents that can be unlocked within the left-handed population. Number 3. Left-handedness is more common in twins. Did you know that left-handedness is more common among twins? Studies have shown that twins, both identical and fraternal, have a higher likelihood of being left-handed compared to single-born individuals. This intriguing phenomenon suggests a possible genetic influence on handedness, adding another layer of complexity to the understanding of left-handedness. So, if you come across a pair of left-handed twins, it's not just a coincidence. There may be a genetic predisposition at play. Number 4. Pioneers of innovation and artistic mastery. Did you know that many famous historical figures were left-handed? Some of the greatest minds and creative geniuses in history, including Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Isaac Newton, were left-handed individuals. This remarkable correlation between
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
left-handedness and exceptional talent showcases the incredible contributions made by lefties throughout the ages. So the next time you pick up a paintbrush or delve into scientific discoveries, remember the left-handed legends who paved the way for innovation and mastery in their respective fields. Number 5. Higher IQ than right-handed individuals. Lefties, listen up. Here's a fascinating fact. Research suggests that you may have a cognitive advantage over your right-handed counterparts. Studies have shown that left-handed individuals tend to have higher IQ scores, indicating that there may be a connection between left-handedness and increased intelligence. So if you're a lefty, embrace your uniqueness and let your smarts shine. Number 6. Higher chance of ambidexterity for left-handers. Did you know that left-handed people are more likely to possess the special skill of ambidexterity? While most individuals tend to favor one hand over the other, lefties have a higher likelihood of being ambidextrous, meaning they can effortlessly switch between their left and right hands. This unique ability showcases the versatility.
Well, you would know that, Toffee, having been a boxer at one point, that it's difficult. And they make a big point of that, if you remember, in the movie Rocky, that he's a southpaw. My mother used to tell me that when I went to school, she went and spoke to the teaching staff and told them not to use the belt to try and knock it out of me of being a left-hander, which I thought was pretty good. So I didn't suffer any cruelty because I was a lefty.
And adaptability of left-handers. Number 7. Genetic and environmental factors of left-handedness. Here's an intriguing fact. The preference for left-handedness is thought to arise from a blend of genetic and environmental influences. While genetics play a role in determining hand dominance, the environment we grow up in can also shape our hand preference. So whether it's nature or nurture, the fascinating interplay between genetics and environment contributes to the diversity of left-handed individuals. Number 8. Athletic advantage of left-handed individuals. Left-handed individuals possess some truly fascinating qualities that set them apart. One notable fact is their knack for excelling in sports like boxing, tennis, and baseball. Thanks to their superior hand-eye coordination, their unique dexterity and natural advantage make them formidable opponents on the field or in the ring. So next time you see a lefty dominating the sports arena, remember that their left-handedness might just be the secret behind their incredible athletic prowess. Number 9. Left-handed people and everyday challenges. Left-handed individuals encounter some intriguing and amazing experiences in their daily lives. For example, they may face difficulties using certain tools and objects that are predominantly designed for right-handed individuals, like scissors or can openers. These seemingly simple tasks can present unique challenges for lefties, highlighting the need for more inclusive designs in a right-handed world. Number 10. Left-handedness and gender. It's time for an amazing fact about left-handed people. Did you know that left-handedness is more common in males than females? That's right. Statistically speaking, a higher percentage of men tend to be lefties compared to women. While the exact reasons for this gender difference are not fully understood, It adds an intriguing layer to the world of left-handedness. Number 11. Left-handedness and health. Here's an interesting fact about left-handed people that might surprise you. Studies have shown that being left-handed is associated with a slightly higher risk of developing certain health conditions, including allergies and autoimmune disorders. Studies have revealed that lefties are approximately 11 times more likely to suffer from allergies compared to their right-handed counterparts. While the exact reasons behind this correlation are still being explored, it sheds light on the intricate connections between hand preference and our overall well-being. Number 12. Left-handed people and alcoholism. Let's delve into an interesting fact about left-handed people. Contrary to popular belief, research has shown that lefties are not necessarily more likely to be alcoholics. In fact, studies have found that left-handed individuals are more prone to moderate drinking rather than excessive alcohol consumption. So while the association between left-handedness and alcoholism may have been a common assumption, it turns out that lefties enjoy their drinks in moderation, just like their right-handed counterparts. Number 13. Language challenges. Studies have indicated that lefties are more likely to face language and scholastic issues, both during childhood and into adulthood. Research has found a significant association between mixed-handedness and language difficulties, shedding light on the intricate relationship between hand preference and linguistic abilities. Number 14. Multitasking mastery. Research has shown that lefties have a natural talent for multitasking. When faced with multiple tasks at once, left-handed people often excel due to their unique cognitive abilities and different problem-solving approaches. Their ability to handle multiple activities simultaneously showcases their exceptional adaptability and cognitive flexibility. Number 15. Longevity and left-handedness. While there was a flawed study suggesting that lefties live on average 9 years less than right-handed individuals, it's important to note that this finding has been largely discredited. The study failed to consider factors such as changing societal attitudes towards left-handedness over time. So lefties can rest assured knowing that their hand preference does not determine their lifespan, and they can enjoy all the amazing experiences life has to offer for just as long as their right-handed counterparts. Number 16. Left-handed people and stroke recovery. Let's explore an amazing fact about left-handed individuals. In the majority of the population, the left side of the brain controls language function. Since left-handed people often have a higher percentage
3 actions in 1 toothpaste. Tried Sensodyne, Sensitivity, Gum, and Numb.
It never shut.
Who's the target?
My clients.
of right brain dominance for language, they tend to recover faster from strokes that affect language abilities. This fascinating connection between left-handedness and stroke recovery highlights the remarkable resilience and adaptability of lefties in overcoming challenges and reclaiming their language skills. So if you're a lefty on the path to stroke recovery, know that your unique brain wiring may give you an advantage in regaining your linguistic abilities. Number 17. Left-handed people and brain hemispheres. Contrary to the common belief that lefties predominantly use the right side of their brain, recent studies suggest that tasks may be shared more equally between the brain hemispheres. While the right side of the brain is traditionally associated with creativity and the arts, research indicates that the relationship between hand preference and brain activity is more complex than previously thought. Number 18. Left-handed people and sleep deprivation. Studies have shown that lefties may be more prone to sleep deprivation compared to their right-handed counterparts. Conditions such as periodic limb movement disorder, PLMD, where limbs involuntarily move during sleep, tend to affect left-handed individuals at a higher rate. Number 19. Left-handed people and migraines. Research has shown that lefties are approximately twice as likely to experience migraines compared to their right-handed counterparts. The exact reasons for this correlation are still being investigated, but it highlights an intriguing connection between hand preference and susceptibility to migraines. Number 20. Left-handed people and nail growth. Did you know that nails tend to grow faster on your dominant hand? If you're a lefty, that means your left hand nails may grow faster than your right hand nails. While the exact reasons for this phenomenon are not fully understood, it adds a fascinating twist to the world of left-handedness. Number 21. Typing advantages. When it comes to typing on a QWERTY keyboard, lefties have a significant advantage. There are over 3,000 English words that can be typed solely with the left hand, while only around 300 words can be typed with the right hand alone. This unique advantage showcases the adaptability and efficiency of left-handed typists, making them true keyboard wizards. Number 22. Left-handed people and earnings. Contrary to some beliefs, lefties may actually earn more than their right-handed counterparts. Studies have shown that left-handed college graduates tend to earn 15% more on average than their right-handed peers. This intriguing correlation between hand preference and earnings highlights the diverse paths to success and challenges common assumptions. Number 23. Left-handed presidents. Out of the 9 most recent U.S. presidents, a remarkable 5 were left-handed. This includes notable leaders such as Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, and George H.W. Bush. The prevalence of left-handed presidents showcases the diverse talents and capabilities of lefties in the highest office of the nation. Number 24. Drawing direction. Studies have found that lefties tend to draw figures facing to the right, while right-handed people often draw them facing to the left. This intriguing difference in drawing direction showcases the subtle yet fascinating variations in how lefties and righties perceive and represent the world through art. Number 25. School performance. Studies have shown that left-handedness can sometimes have an impact on school performance. Mixed-handed children, in particular, may experience challenges with language and scholastic issues that persist into adulthood. This fascinating connection between hand preference and academic achievement highlights the importance of understanding and accommodating the unique needs of left-handed students to ensure their success in the educational journey. Number 26. Left-handedness and sexual orientation. Studies have found that lefties have a higher likelihood of being homosexual, with research indicating that they have approximately 39% greater odds of being non-right-handed. This intriguing correlation highlights the complex interplay between hand preference and sexual orientation, adding another layer to the diversity and uniqueness of individuals.
Right here.
Number 27. Leadership success. Being a lefty may actually give you an advantage in leadership roles. Studies have shown that left-handed people tend to excel in positions of authority, with a higher representation of lefties in leadership positions than what would be expected by chance. This intriguing correlation suggests that the qualities associated with left-handedness, such as creativity and adaptability, contribute to their success in guiding and inspiring others. Number 28. Left-handedness and individuality. Being left-handed allows you to stand out from the crowd. In a world where right-handedness is the norm, being a lefty brings a touch of uniqueness and individuality.
So, I think that's long enough for that. I'd like to show you something here, folks. You might find it interesting, you might not. I have here a pack of playing cards. I don't have one for a right-handed street. It was a left. Okie doke. This is a normal pack of cards. But being a left-handed person and being incredibly interested in cards, I've always had the disadvantage when it comes to cards. There's another pack of cards. So have a look at this. And tell me if you can see any difference. No, I'm the first person in the family to be left-handed. My son's left-handed. Right, what I'm showing you here, because most people will not see it, is this. This is a standard card from a standard deck of cards. And this is a card from a left-handed pack of cards. That's the difference. Now that card, that 10 of clubs, coming from a left-handed pack of cards, now what's the difference? What should you see in this difference? Well, what you should see in this difference is that the pips are the wrong way around. It's up here on the left-hand side and down here, when normally they're up here and down there. That's the difference. That won't make much difference to you if you're a right-handed person. But when you're a left-handed person, it makes all the difference in the world when you're playing a card game, for example. If I was playing a game of poker, say, what would happen is I'd get the cards and I would spread them like this. Okay, that's the way you'd spread them. And that's what you would see. And of course, what you can't see is the value, because the value is printed here on that side. So when I spread these cards to if I was playing a game of poker or any other card game, I'd spread it. Spread the cards this way. I thought you might find that mildly interesting. But Woodlander is saying, in fact, I would take it this is not just him saying it, I would say that this is his insistence. I don't want to know how lefties spread them. Very good. I like that. Lefties need all the help they can get, says Kate. Now, this is a playing cards and being interested in playing cards. This is a part of my family heritage, if you like, because when my great grandparents were alive, played a lot of cards. And these little things like that were always an annoyance. The fact that this is what you get when you open them. Now, I have only come across these left-handed cards in the last few months. And I have subsequently found out that this is a new innovation in the card world to make left-handed cards. And what makes it interesting, of course, is the fact that they're cheaper than normal cards. Normally, when you're buying something that's specially made for left-handed people, you have to pay more. That's why I wore it streaky, because I was going to show you all these special cards. But the thing is, when you just show them to people, if you don't say anything, and I've tried this with members of the family, you say anything different about that card, and nobody sees it. Oddly enough, since I don't. I only know how to play 100 up, 50 up, poker, various types, blackjack, gambling games, in other words. You see? It looks perfectly okay until you put it up against a right-handed card. I haven't put the court cards up. It's harder. It's easier to see them with pip cards. See? This is the normal card. This is the left-handed card. So you can tell your friends you've actually seen left-handed playing cards. They've only been available for the last couple of years. That's how new it all is. Yeah. When you're buying guitars, you got to pay anywhere between 10 and 15 and 17% more. So anyway, I thought you might be interested in seeing them. I had to wait all this time to get a set. So there you go, folks. Left-handed cards. Finally. After about 400 years of card making, we finally get left-handed ones. Never mind. I used to love three-card brag. I played every Saturday night years ago. And the games were prone to argument, to say the least in a pub. Can't imagine. I can't imagine. Lefties had to moan for hundreds of years, said Woodlander, before someone got sick of the mourning and made them their own cards. You see the bother I've got with a can opener. It's the same bother. Terrible. This has opened a torrent of jokes. Streaky. I love the song and hate the people. Linda, good evening. I used to sit the table back to front as a kid, didn't I? But it made sense to me. Oops, Lefties and feelings, yeah. Uh, it's neither Anglo. It's Lucozade. But the whole thing about guitars and the cost extra really is a bugbearer for me. It always has been. Because obviously the more expensive the instrument, the more is being added to the price just because uh, you need it to be made left-handed. And not all of the makers will indulge. They don't all make them. And if they do, it's usually just a couple of models. It's a bit unfair. Different, of course, if you're really wealthy. You know, they'll make you anything as long as you can pay for it. Oh, you play the recorder, Toffee. Ah, interesting. Hmm. Tricky instrument, of course. Eh, you never tell me, I can never tell, Toffee, whether you're joking or not. Well, that's not true. Most of the time I can tell. Video recorder. Three blind mice, says Trevor Lamb. Yeah, it's trouble with the triangle, eh? I think I'll pick I'll put on a song. While the song is playing, if anyone would like to come on for a short time and have a wee chat, just let me know.
There once was a good time when we built all the great ships here. But that once time is our lost time now. That is our yesteryear. Sugar cane from Jamaica, put up sweet tooth in every mouth, and the cotton that once was spun here fine was gathered by white of the South. Factory girls, topped with scarves, made the sugar, spun the bread, and the top men who made the great ships great were proud to call themselves red. There once was a good time when we built all the great ships here. But that once time is our lost time now. That is our yesteryear. Raw tobacco from Virginia wandered next to ruby wine, moved by dirty pumping steam trains to factories on the line. Good old roads from Port Glasgow, Cooper barrels for the whiskey trade. All the world knew that the legend claimed the best ships were always quite made. There once was a good time when we built all the great ships here. But that once time is our lost time now. That is our yesteryear. But that once time is our lost time now. That is our yesteryear. But that once time is our lost time now. That is our yesteryear. But that once time is our lost time now. That is our yesteryear.
Oh, that was good. Enjoyed that. Thanks very much, Kate. Okay, Woodlander. See you soon. Take care. Remember that address, please. So there you go. Yeah, well, if you come on, Streaky, I don't want to be overrunning, though, too long. Uh, Toby's encouraging you to come on, so yes. Yes, you did. Well, I didn't send it, to be honest, but I'll put it in. I'll put it in the chat. And you can come on for a while. And there it is. That's the wrong thing. Well, to be honest, the more you look into the Titanic stuff, the more I'm just convinced that there's something very fishy about the whole thing. Right. Oh, Sensum. What happened to... Hello there, Sensum.
Hello, John. How are you doing, friend?
Not bad.
By the way, yeah, I got those. I got the booklets, John. And first of all, and I think I mentioned in the email, you didn't have to send that many. But secondly, the production quality of them's excellent. Really are good quality.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Well, the idea of sending everybody a couple is you'll come across people that you think are likely to read it or want to read it, and you can give them copy. That's the whole idea. It's that simple. Lets people know we're here, what we stand for. So, you're tired, are you, sir?
Me?
Yes.
No. I've been. This is a normal day for me today because I've got my Mondays and Fridays back now. Eventually, and I saw all the kerfuffle and commotion that was going on, and literally on the F of 5 o'clock, I turned my computer off. the works computer, shall I say, because I could see what was coming. And so my
Right.
phone is off, which I shouldn't do, but I have done it. My
Quite
phone is
right.
literally, my phone is turned off, and my computer is off. And the second word of the two is M, E-M, with a little apostrophe in the front of it, M. And the first word begins with an F, and I won't say the first word. Honest to God, John, it's like I tell you something now. Right? I tell you what doesn't work. Trying to work with people across time zones, it literally doesn't work. I mean, we'll ignore the language barrier for a starter, which is always terrible. But there's some really decent people who are dotted all over the Knot End, and one lad who I speak with on a semi-regular basis, he's a contractor. And he's a good one. He's one of the good lads, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like what's it, 4 hours ahead of you, and I'm like, oh crikey, where's that then? Russia or something like that. And I says, where are you? And he goes, Mauritius. I goes, you lucky bastard! What?
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck? What? You're working from Mauritius, you fucker! It's like unbelievable.
Yeah.
And he goes,
You can see it
it's
now.
great.
You can see it
The
now,
thing
can't
is, the thing is, he finishes just about time that the dullards fucking switch on. Sorry for swearing, but they do my jaffers in. I'll tell you something now, folks. If you're going to work for anybody not work, but if you're going to do any business in North America, stick to Mexico, and I say that sincerely, or the United States. Do not go anywhere near our Canuck friends up in Canadian because they expect every single thing to be dual language, French and English. And I wouldn't care. The French fuckers all speak English anyway. So
Exactly.
do you know what I mean? It's just absolute nonsense.
Yeah.
Nonsense. But they've got to have the Quebecois. They're Quebecois. You know, fuck you Quebecois. You've been beaten that many fucking times. You've got a sore ass. Speak English.
Exactly.
Sorry, John, but it's hard.
Yeah, no. Carry on.
Anyway, Streaky's here. Streaky, mate, save me, because I'm going to go off on a rant and get myself killed or something. It's going to be terrible. Justin Trudeau's going to come for me, or that what's it called, polystyrene or somebody, that other bloke who we've got there. He's one of them Quebecois, isn't he? Supposed to be on our side. Polystyrene or whatever his name is. Streaky, are you there? Help me, Streaky.
Yeah, I know the guy you talk, Polivier. He's meant to be
polystyrene or whatever his name is. He's not our guy either. Another bloody.
He's meant to be the right wing of Canada up against Trudeau. I don't know that much about him. He's probably some fucking fake World Economic Forum stooge, I guess, if it comes to Canada. But yeah, John, I just wanted to come on to say, like, I know you said about the film club at the end of the month, and like I said, I would do it kind of thing. But I'm having a few weeks break from the internet and social media, so I won't be around for a little while. So
we'll keep
I like to take a break now and again. That's all.
Don't worry about it.
Nice one.
If you feel like it in the new year or whatever, we'll keep the seat. We'll keep the seat for you. How's that?
Yeah, nice one, John. Yeah, I just said I'm having a bit of a break for a while, for a few weeks or so. You know, just it gets a bit much, all this, all the misery and the streams and everything gets a bit same old. So I just like to have a break. I like to do it every few months or so, you know.
Again, that's partly why my Friday night stream has always endeavoured to be lightweight, not heavy politics, unless there's a situation that requires a discussion on it. But otherwise, I like to keep it lightweight, talk about artistic things, preferably.
The chat has been very fun, very funny tonight. It's
Oh yeah.
I've had a real good laugh tonight, especially, it's always good people
I've got
in the chat.
I've got left-handed cards here for sale.
Yeah. But yeah, tonight's a really good night, and yeah, that's all I've got. I haven't got much more left to say. Sensum, why don't you tell us about your toilet cleaning tour of McDonald's in Canada and Mexico?
Oh mate, I tell you now, it's almost funny, but it's not. It's tragic in equal measure because, put it this way, right? They don't give a shit that Rome's burning. Yeah, let's frame it this way.
Mm-hmm.
None of them give a shit that Rome's burning. But if you've got a Roman numeral wrong, that's a big problem. Do you know what I mean? It's like unbelievable. The sanctimonious, sniveling little shit weasels. And like I say, it's not all of them, but let me just say, they're called Quebecois, right? Which is like the capital is Montreal, the capital of Quebec. So it's Montreal. Because you have to do that. Do you know what the hell of it is? I actually know proper French people, as in from France. And I'm not talking about Illuminatus, I'm talking about real French people. And when they hear these fuckers speaking, one lad who's lived here for 30 odd years.
They laugh at them, don't they? They ridicule the French Canadians when they speak.
He said to me, he says, when you watched the Lower Low as a lad? I goes, yeah. He says, and when they put on the but Rene and blah, 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 and then all of a sudden when they're supposed to be English people speaking to English people, it's like, well, hello, chaps, yes, we're going to be doing this. He goes, well, when you hear how the French speak in a Lower Low, but speak in English, he goes, that's exactly how we hear them speaking French. He goes, they've got literally no fucking idea. He says, the only time you'll hear somebody from that neck of the woods speaking proper French is if a French person's emigrated there and is living there and are tolerating how idiotic they all sound. It's like lingua franca. Everything's got to be done dual, and it's got to be like, we're all in this office, but some people prefer to speak English or deal in English and don't speak French. Yeah, well, why are we pandering to those cheese-eating surrender monkeys? We beat their asses more times than soft Mick. Napoleon didn't win, did he? So fuck you. You know what I mean? Just because you happen to rock up in North America and help those fuckers win the Civil War gives you no grace in Canada. I'm sorry, but it doesn't. It's just... But that's not the problem. The big problem isn't them. The big problem are the sort of external contractors who are... if you imagine a statue that's called useless, these fuckers are standing right next to it because they are next to useless. They are absolutely... It's like herding cats, plaiting snot, you know what I mean? Catching sawdust. It is unbelievable. You can't do it. It's an impossibility. And on the one and only occasion where you may have an ally of somebody who actually knows what they're doing, they're literally just about signing off, just as they're starting, because he lives in fucking Mauritius. I mean, for sake.
Anglo-Saxon is saying that Streaky is Mossad. He disappears from time to time.
Oy vey.
He briefed.
Oy vey.
He touches
funny incident.
Go on, Streaks. Go on, mate.
I had a funny incident with diversity about a month ago in work. There was 3 Africans, and they're trying to load up metal into a goods hoist, and the goods hoist was about 2.7 meters, and the metal they were trying to load into a goods hoist was 3 meters, and they're speaking in their own lingo, and they're shouting and they're throwing fucks into each other in their own lingo, and they're all kicking off, and and like ape behavior is happening and the spitting is going on. And like I could have explained to them, if you turn this metal in diagonally, it fit into this hoist. But I thought, fuck them. I just wanted to, because it was
Let it go.
entertaining.
What?
It was entertaining. Just these are laborers. A lot of building sites in the southeast. A lot of the laborers will be Africans.
Of
Uh,
course.
uh, Pretty lazy, but what they turn up every day. Yeah, you don't get no fucking around with like the British people, bit lashed up and not turning in the morning, or an argument with a girlfriend, or none of that behavior, which I so often have took part of. But with the Africans, they're there every day, but they're fucking useless and they're lazy and untrustworthy. You don't find many good ones. But anyway, I was watching these three guys, and they're trying to fit this metal, and they hadn't worked out how to turn the metal on an angle. They're trying to push it in straight, and they hadn't fucking worked out how to twist it on an angle. And I watched this for half an hour. I was in fucking tears just watching this going on. I was thinking like about diversity, and this is like the British, the fucking the force, the British Labour Force, and yeah, so
It's unfortunate, Streaky, that you didn't have a camera. You could have recorded it and
yeah, I
shared
should have done
shared
that.
that whole incident.
Yeah, you know what I'll do? Yeah, that's what I'll do, because uh, they often perform these tricks,
Yeah,
so I'll film I'll
yeah,
film something.
yeah. That would be interesting.
Oh yeah, it's yeah, it'll be interesting. But yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll film it, and I'll try to get it to you. But it definitely they're frustrating and amusing to work with, but it's a bit sad. Um, it's a bit sad at the end of the day, because these guys, they're not okay money. It's survivable money. 15 quid an hour. Yeah,
Wow,
and
wow. I've
and
never, I've never earned £15 an hour in my life.
yeah, and it's not like, it's just fucking basic dog work, laboring and cat. You don't have to. It's not like the old days where you have to really graft, and these lads, they were like plasterboard laborers, and they were trying to fit this metal into a good size. But yeah, they won't. You're never going to be a millionaire out of it, but you could get by.
Sure.
So it's a shame. There's a lot of English lads have been crowded out, because when jobs become available, everybody will like to try to keep it in house. Like if you're Romanians, Albanians, you keep your own mates in, and you get your own youngsters. And so the English have been crowded out of
That's
the
the
job
whole
market
idea.
like that.
But that's the whole idea, Streaky.
Yeah, that's the idea, because
That's
at the
why we're
end of
here.
the at the end of the day, when it comes to a woman, who is she gonna likely to marry? Is she gonna marry a guy with a decent career, or is she gonna marry a guy who's unemployed? So they know, by flooding the work market with non-whites and putting white people on the dole, this is also influential in the mixing up of the people. Because, and this is not to be offensive to women who were in the chat or whatever, but they accept a lot when it comes to money. All they want, not all they want, but is a home, a decent home, rather than the political stuff, things like men do. And they would rather settle for a non-white with a bit of money that can offer them a comfortable life than a white person who's on the dole. So all this forced diversity which has been put upon us, there's many facets to it.
Oh yeah,
So yeah, that's all I like to say.
sure. So what have you got planned for the weekend, guys? Anything?
I
I'm
haven't
gonna
got
have
much planned. Oh, go on, Streaky.
yeah,
You
go
go
on,
on
Sen. So
first,
you
mate.
say, man. You carry on, mate. What are you up to?
Well, I've got not much planned, but I am going over to visit my auntie and uncle tomorrow, just in the morning. Say hello to them. And then I'm hoping I'll get a free run at doing some Halloween stuff for John.
Oh yeah, good man. Good man.
That's what I was doing. Last weekend was mint. Oh yeah, I didn't mention that. Last Sunday I was in York, paid for by the Gruesome Twosome, otherwise known as me two kids, to go and they came with me and we saw at the Barbican Theatre in York by the Guildhall York Orchestra, a tribute to John Barry. It was magnificent. It was fantastic.
Wow.
Really loved it. Really, because you know me, I love me music.
Oh
and
yeah.
my two favourite composers I've always maintained is John Williams and John Barry. I saw the John Williams concert in July at the Albert Hall. That was a late Christmas present because the tickets were all sold out before Christmas. But that was a late Christmas present with the London Concert Orchestra at the Albert Hall. I hated being in London though. It was what a shithole. It's even worse now. It's terrible. But the concert was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then an early Christmas present this year to go and see the York Guildhall Orchestra at the York Barbican doing all of John Barry's like top works, and it was mint. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. So that's why I've been a little bit not been present recently. But yeah, that was my weekend last weekend. But this weekend,
bit quieter.
good, you know, as was it best laid plans?
Yeah.
Best laid plans is I go visit my auntie and uncle tomorrow in the morning, and then I get back because I don't know how you said to me, can you knock up a bit of a story? Well, I already had something from donkeys ago, which was it was half decent for a short story, that is.
Uh-huh.
I thought, yeah, I'll top and tail that one, but it's, it may be a bit longer, John, than what you might expect because I've tried to do a couple of chapters through the week and a couple of extra chapters through the week, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to have to really sort of flesh this one out because it's going to be half decent. So
good.
And it's nothing heavy. It's actually really, really quite light-hearted. So that's it's on message, quite light-hearted. Hopefully, it'll be well received. Well, I hope it'll be well received.
Well,
but
got to remember, since some of the people who are with the channel now have not had the Halloween stream because of my illness. I mean, I was
that'd be right.
2 years since I've done one.
Yeah.
So, but
I'm looking forward to that, John. I really am. I hope you are too. And I honestly hope that the chat will be involved, and I'll be spreading the word, far and wide to all of my 3 followers, or however many it is this week. I tell you what, John. Do you want to know how you get like a big response for your Halloween stream? We'll get Toffee to do it when he does one of his Monday nights Raws. Hopefully he'll get one in before you do, because he gets far more success on my channel than I do.
Well, actually, thanks for reminding me. I just want to say thanks, Toffee. I was quite taken aback with all the kind words between you and James Hayworth about my good self. So thanks for all of that. I wasn't expecting that. So there you are.
Yeah, Toffee's just asking, is Bonnie Lad on tomorrow? He is, mate. Yeah, he is. He sent me the image because the problem is now, because Bonnie Lad doesn't really bother too much with Telegram, and that's literally the only other sort of social media presence I have, and that's literally only to keep in touch with the likes of Toffee and William. Well, not yourself, because I've got your email, John. Scottish Tam and Bonnie Lad. But he sent me the image. It's a really good image, actually. It's very funny. So we'll be doing an Amigo stream on Bonnie Lad's channel tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. So that's defo on. So, hey, I tell you what, Toffee, I've been cursing like a sailor today because I haven't had much opportunity to get it out of my system. But I'm glad I have now. Yeah. So, yeah, but I'll tell you what, I hope I managed to not pull it off, but I hope I managed to do you proud, John, for Halloween, because I'd really like to sort of do a good job. You know what I mean? And like I don't like rocking up with some shit. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, that's often how it's interpreted. But I sometimes like to think
Only
I've got
by
a bit of effort in.
you're the only one that says this. Nobody else says this but you. The way I look at it is this: if other people participate, it means that we are getting a mixture of authors, and that's got to be a stronger presentation than simply listening to all my stuff. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
And it takes some of the weight off my shoulders. Because I remember, I think one of the first times I did these Halloween things it was close to 4 hours.
Yeah.
It's quite exhausting. But the other thing I should say, well, we're talking about this, and this applies to all of you folks. It could be an anecdote, something that has happened, some kind of spooky thing that you want to share with us, and that's fine as well. It doesn't have to be written out. It could just be an anecdote. So think about that as well.
I remember the first Halloween stream that we did, and I gave you an anecdote about my great grandmother. Did I tell you? I'm certain you'll remember it, because my great grandmother was poorly at the same time as my granddad was. So she was like poorly, and my granddad was poorly. Me nana and me auntie, me great auntie, I should say, went into the bedroom and they looked at me great nana, and they look and he goes, E, I think she's gone. E. And they put the sheet overhead, and the sheet comes back down. I'm not deed yet. that was off me great grandmother. That was superb. But that's the thing is, right? I think that I think that ordinary people, working class people, I think they have a much better respect and affinity, and deal with such things in a much more natural way, because they've had to experience it far more through the trials, etc., that they've had to go through than anybody else. So it's just, when you think about, that's how I like to remember people, little strange anecdotes like, and I've got a myriad of anecdotes about various people in my past, and I'm trying to pass them on to my kids. And then even now they'll say, who was it who there was
that's one of the things that I've noticed, the amount of younger people such as Lorraine who are so hungry to know about those days.
about the olden days. Tell me about the olden days.
yeah.
Well, I
That's
can only regurgitate the stories that were told to me. So, but these are the things that it's a bit like, you know, they talk about, you know, what would be the American Indians. Their history was told through stories. Now,
Correct.
obviously, as time goes on, they get a little bit of embellishment, a little bit of polish. You know what I mean?
Of course.
But that's what makes them all the more endearing, all the more memory worthy. Do you know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
I mean, my great nana I was just speaking about, she used to run a shop, and her daughter-in-law, my auntie, my nana's sister-in-law, used to work with her, and there used to be this bloke who used to go in. I won't say his name. I know his name, but he used to go in, and because my nana was a sibling of 7, and her youngest, second youngest brother, Jack, he was called, used to say he made Toulouse-Lautrec look tall. And so he went into the shop this day, and he was a weird sort of gremlin-looking bugger, you know what I mean? But he used to have a thing for the daughter-in-law. And she used to be terrified of him. You know, he was like this little gremlin-looking bugger.
Goblin.
Yeah, and whenever he went in, she used to go out and she goes, you know, oh, he's out there now. Who is it? It's him. All right, okay. Anything? Have you got any Colgate toothpaste? This is how they. I'm telling you now exactly how they used to. This was the impression they used to do. Have you got any Colgate toothpaste? No, but we've got Colgate shaving cream. He says, no, it's for my teeth. Silly things like that. Silly things that you just remember. That's how you live on. You live in little silly things like that.
I usually say that when I think you all know that I'm often asked to do eulogies for people, and I always say that towards the end. The people are not really dead so long as we remember them.
Yeah.
And I believe that to be true. I mean, I was going to say, here's a little juicy piece that my great granny often would tell folk. And I think it is quite chilling when you think about it. And it was this. She would say, when she was young, that puts it into the 19th century, of course, whenever a baby died, and of course they were all born in the house in those days, whenever a baby died, they would wrap it up beautifully, and then the mother it wouldn't be the mother it would do, it would be her mother and a couple of the other women of the family. They would take this wee soul out into the streets at night, and they would go around the town looking for a window that had white sheets up, because the white sheets would tell them that this was a house that had a corpse or a coffin in it, because it was a wake that was going on. And they would go up through the close and chap on the door and ask, would they be willing to take this baby and put it in the coffin along with the corpse to save money. I always thought that was a really chilling story. Know that it was true, of course, you know. So there's a lots of graves in our cemetery that have obviously got babies buried in them that are not registered anywhere. And I'm sure that went on all over the country.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've heard similar tales, John. And oftentimes it was because, a lot of people who you got to think on in those times, John, the survivability rate, if that's why people had such massive families, because,
Exactly.
the survivability rate wasn't massive.
No.
But it used to, a lot of people literally were penniless, abject poor. My grandmother, not great, I've said this many times, Sean, my grandmother, not great grandmother, my grandmother used to go on alternate days to school when me, me nana's like sister, who was the second eldest, they went to school on alternate days because they used to, so they could each wear the shoes on one day because my grandmother was too proud to send them in shoeless, barefoot, basically, because there was a lot of
Uh-huh.
kids at school barefoot. But even though they were penniless, it was seen as being less than to send your kids into school. Then, whenever they did get a bit of money or whatever, they get a pair of shoes, and hand-me-downs were a real thing.
Oh yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
people have to realise that, for a nation that's been so great and so ostracised and pilloried for being so great, that wasn't the case for the vast majority of people. The vast majority of people, until very recent times, lived in abject poverty. And that's lost on a lot of people. So, like I said, I come from a family where my grandmother used to go to school on opposite days because couldn't afford to have a pair of shoes each. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that wasn't an uncommon thing, because even though people were poor, they were proud. They had
Yeah,
that sense of pride about them.
yeah.
So,
And
they could.
and that's the other thing that binds us all together is this history.
Yeah.
What I call this social history is the stuff that isn't written down in books.
No, it isn't. And when you started the stream, it was about the canon of Star Wars. In other words, how they're trying to rewrite the canon of Star Wars. Well, we see that on a macro level across the West in the wider Anglosphere, as they are continually trying to tear down every single thing that Europeans have brought to the world, and either annex them or replace them as their own, or destroy them because they're embarrassed that they weren't able to achieve those same heights, basically, even though their own nations had far more natural wealth resources than we ever could have imagined.
Absolutely. Well said. Well
Yeah,
said.
spot on, Centum. Spot on, mate. It's a fuck. So I'm trying not to swear, but it's a,
I know
I
that's
really am. I really am. It's a disgrace how the Western world has been treated, and by
well,
its own people.
we're to blame for it. We've allowed it.
Yeah, by its own people as we've had it too soft, and honestly, it breaks my heart to see how things have changed, and it's become rapid. For me, in the last like 20 years, it's rapidly declined.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's I don't think it is a political way out of it. I hope it is, because if it comes down to social unrest and like Gavin Bobby, I'm sure you heard of, the lawyer, was saying, when it come down to benefits and the country's actual broke. If the country's too broke to give out benefits, it's going to be a really horrible time. So the future, it doesn't look very bright, does it? And what's going on in the Middle East and everything, but yeah, that's all I gotta say. Oh yeah, the weekend. Quickly,
Yeah.
my plans are, John. I'm gonna go with a friend tomorrow to a village. It's on the Thames, and it's got 6 or 7 great pubs, and it's a really posh English village. And years ago, I used to live in a caravan by the Thames next to this village for about a year. I was replacing water pipes. And so I haven't been back there for years. So I'm meeting a friend, and me and her, we're off out on the lash round these old traditional pubs, and it's a stunning area. Really, it's a posh money. It's posh people live there, and that, but it's got great pubs. So yeah, and then I back tomorrow, probably return back on the train, or get an hotel there or whatever, and then yeah, and then Sunday just back to normality, just chilling out. So that's my weekend, and that's all I gotta say. So I'll catch up
Sounds
with you
all
later.
right.
Right?
Uh,
Thanks for letting me speak and everything. Send some, John. I'll see you later. Time's knocking
hang
on.
on. Whoa. Don't rush away. Anglo is asking, please ask Streaky if he saw that piece by
Oh,
Sargon on how the West betrayed Rhodesia.
I seen it advertised. I seen it advertised about Zimbabwe, and I haven't seen it. But why I was going to watch it this weekend was I've this Zimbabwe guy has started work with me. He's in his 40s, whatever. And the funny thing is, he's in charge of the African laborers.
That's irony. That's definitely irony.
I said to my mate, I said, you couldn't have got a fucking find a man in charge, I said, to do the job. So he's in charge of the Kaffers, and I said to him, so I know a little bit about what happened in Zimbabwe, and I said to him, it's a shame what happened with your country, and he said, yeah, but we haven't spoken that much. But what I was going to do was like what Anglo said. I was going to gem up with that video because I seen it advertised, and I also I read there was a very good remarks about it. So yeah, I'll have to gem up with a nice one, Anglo. So that's it. Thanks for the time and everything. I'll catch up with you later. All right, John, and I hope you have a good weekend, lads. All right.
Yeah, you too.
Take care, Streaky, mate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, it's 11 o'clock, John, and I don't want to keep you too late, but enjoyed coming on and venting my spleen.
Well, you see, I'm a great believer in doing that. I think people should do that when they get uptight about certain things. And I've often advocated, and I say this to all of you good people, get yourself an old cushion or an old pillow. And when you get frustrated like that, punch the living daylights out of it. And at the same time, shout at it as though it were a person. And you'll feel much better. I swear to God, you will.
Yeah. Well, I haven't done that lately, but, you know, I'll give it a try. But
yeah, absolutely.
I'd say it just, I mean,
life can
I just give up saying the same things over and over again.
Yeah, well,
and it's like I'm working with Borat half the time. You know that comedy bugger Borat. It's like, yeah, right now, I want you to remain laser focused on doing this exactly like this. And I get back, even better. I do it this way. Oh, you fucking idiot. No, don't do it that way. No, please don't do it that way. Oh, you know, and then you end up having to do it yourself. And then the brass, the fucking idiots at the top, right? Because, like I say, it's true what they say. When they look down, all they see is smiling faces, and when we look up, all you see is arseholes. You know, the monkeys at the top of the tree. And it's like, yeah, it's all. This is, you know, these external contracts. They're working great, aren't they? I'm like, well, you like to think that they are, and if I tell you that they're not, you're gonna be angry at me, not them, because you decided that saving tuppence halfpenny on the top end is more important than saving 20 grand on the bottom end. So yeah, you know, you just carry on. But when nothing works, and when it's like late, and when it's all that lot, it's not their fault, is it, for being useless?
Never is. No.
No. So, like I say, on the F of 5 o'clock this evening, my telephone was off. My work's computer was off. I am persona non grata, and I feel the much better for it. Whether I'll feel the same at 9:05 on Monday morning is yet to be seen, but that's how I'm feeling right. Yeah, God bless you, John. Yeah, I've enjoyed being on, mate. God bless.
Okay, doke. If you want to hang back, my friend.
I will do.
Okay. Okay, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this evening. I know I have, and I want to thank all of you for being here. It's always good. And enjoy the rest of your weekend, whatever you do. But I would advise to try and get some time away from the computer. Get yourself outside if possible for a wee walk. So, having said that, then I've only got to say adios, au revoir, cheerio, and until Tuesday night, 9 o'clock, goodbye for now. Take care, look after yourself, and enjoy the music.
Silently the snow falls, paints a winter scene, swiftly spreads the dark rim, hides a fading autumn green. Moonbeams brush the dark wood, conjure friendships dear to me. Lightly now the breeze flows, disturbing more than just the leaves. But life's much more than we can know. We are one small glow in the eternal flow. Patiently the love grows, lifts the weary heart. Gently now she holds me, melts two worlds once apart. Moonbeams brush the dark wood, usher dreams of you and me. Softly then the breeze blows, disturbing more than just the trees.
All together now.
But love's much more,
So much more
than we can know.
than we can possibly know.
We are one small glow,
But an important goal.
in the eternal flow. Melodies of long ago, songs of innocence, harmonies to soothe the soul, have some consequence. Moonbeams brush the dark wood, awakening joys of you and me. Silently the snow falls, bringing winter symphony.
All together now,
But we're much more
so much more
than we can know.
than we can ever possibly know.
We are one small glow
But an important glow
in the eternal flow. But life's much more than we can know. We are one small glow in the eternal flow.
So, folks, take care, and I'll hopefully see you next Tuesday, 9 o'clock. Bye for now. Thanks again for being here.